Oh no, you're roboting. Hey, Soko.
I'm trying to
Hey.
figure out where my feed's coming from. There we go.
Okay.
Where it's playing. Hang on a second. I gotta figure this out. It's gonna be a nightmare.
I look because I'm like,
Welcome
it's
to
usually
Sunday
me.
Crazy day. Yeah, well, it happens to us all. Oh look.
All right.
Oh. Where is my feed coming from? What in the
Oops. That was me. Let's see.
Okay, I think I got it. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Woo, Lord. Happy Sunday, Sonny.
Yay, Sunday fun day.
Yeah, no. I thought breaking was coming, but he muted up about a half hour ago, so I don't know. It's Sunday for most people, and it's one of those days. People love our roundtables, and I appreciate that they do. So I wanted to try and get one out. I mean, we got hurricane shit coming, guys. I don't know if y'all live anywhere in this where this hurricane's coming up through, but we're supposed to get, as always, Tennessee's supposed to get the rain and stuff from it. It's raining right now, so are you? You know what I'm talking about?
Are you kind of on the eastern side of Tennessee then?
I'm right in between like Nashville and Chattanooga.
Okay. So central? I don't
Yeah,
know.
mostly it's still
Okay.
considered central. A little bit further, a little to the east, but it's still considered central.
And so you still get the heavy rains and stuff.
Sometimes, because it comes up like when it hits the Gulf or like Florida or whatever, it'll come up like through, we'll get the stuff off of it, like from Alabama, and it'll usually come up. We've been having storms a lot the last few days, like raining on and off, but it's it's not rare here to have that kind of weather this time of year.
And the other thing for me is I've never paid as much attention to the weather as I have in the last couple of years, or scanning the news. But it does seem like there is horrendous, catastrophic weather going on all over.
Yeah, Fred can kiss my ass. Like here, I'll show you. I got something pulled up on it really quick.
Okay.
Share. How's everybody doing, by the way? How's everybody doing? Everybody on this fine rainy Sunday. Okay, Fred can go suck it. Strengthen a tropical storm as it hits the Gulf Coast. Here's a little video. I don't have the audio shared. I don't think it really matters. But, that doesn't look friendly. But it is what it is. After bringing heavy rain across central Cuba, Fred has dissipated and is no longer a tropical depression, which is good. I know a lot of people that had a lot of hurricane damage. So I know whenever they kind of scale it down, they breathe a little bit sigh of relief down there. As the remnants move slowly, the eastern Gulf of Mexico over the next 24 hours, scattered showers, gusty winds, and thunderstorms may be possible across Florida Keys and parts of the peninsula. So, I think the people that live there, this is see how it kind of came up. It was like, God must have was like, Florida's got enough shit going on. Let's swoop on over here to Mobile, Alabama. Right there, it's like, well, Mobile, Alabama, like right is. And so see how it'll kind of come up curve. And then this is Tennessee behind this banner. And
okay.
I'm like right here. So we'll get like, the storms off of it and stuff, but it'll be all right. But yeah, and then we got Haiti. You know what's going on with Haiti today?
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah. It's really, it is really sad.
I think I saw like more than 200 have died in Haiti.
I think it's 700.
Oh my gosh.
Let me make sure I'm right. I've got something pulled up on. It's got death toll climbs to 700 here. On that. So it says Haiti earthquake rescuers search for survivors as death toll climbs to 700. And so officials in Haiti confirmed that at least 724 people are dead after a powerful 7.2 magnitude earthquake hit the Caribbean nation on Saturday. Rescuers are picking through rubble in desperate search for any survivors. Homes, churches, schools were among buildings flattened in the quake. I'm sure it flattened everything. I don't think earthquakes, are like drone strikes. It kind of just destroys everything. So it says that unknown number of people are still missing. At least 2,800 people have been injured. So, where's the Clintons? I'm sure they'll be running right over there to help out old Haiti. Make sure they send Laura Selsby again, so she can do her fancy work kidnapping kids. So 11 million inhabitants, 59% who live below the poverty line, 24 to 2017, years in which the UN peacekeeping force was present. F the UN. Yeah, UN peacekeeping. You know how many damn babies are out there produced by the UN? Yeah, that are fatherless. UN. Screw it. 200,000 number of people killed in the 2010 earthquake. So yeah, watch for the Clintons. I'm sure there'll be some kind of charity thing, that they'll put on. They'll try to raise millions and millions of dollars to not use for what they say they're going to use it for. And, that'll be another cash crop for the celebrities that already have millions and then tell you to donate your last $10. While they buy a new house in Martha's Vineyard. Hashtag Obama.
And the poor stay poor. And it always affects them the worst. They're the ones who have to clean up. They're the ones who have to pick up after their family and friends and all the devastation.
Yeah, it's it's sad. It is what it is, though. I mean, these people are assholes. They do not care. That's why it's been hard. I've had that stuff. Oh, hello, Bruce Q. Wayne. Hello. Oh no, he's in Foxhole. Bruce Q. Wayne, what a name. I'm just trying to go through my stuff. Say hello, Delilah, hello, let me wave to them. Hello, Delilah. But yeah, it's they're sick. And I mean, that's why it's been hard for me to pull up. I've had this stuff to share. I talked about it a little bit last time before we lost internet. The minute I start talking about it, my internet drops out. What's going on. But I have pulled up that stuff to kind of remind people of what they do, the children, stuff like that. And, it's, I've struggled with it because it is dangerous. I don't like to be dramatic, and I'm not trying to be, oh, poor me, because I'm a grown ass person, but I'm neighbors with my father. So, when I kind of come in and kind of blew off, the police been called to my house a couple times. Listen, they'll send messages like that as well. If they wanted to harass me, they could have thought of many different reasons to tell the police to come over here. They chose to tell them assault twice. I had my window shot out a couple years ago in my driveway of my parents' house. After I moved, I came back to help take care of my mother. My dad take care of my mom. My window was shot out. So stuff. I mean, weird stuff does happen when you kind of get into the pedo stuff and the satanic stuff, and they don't want people talking about it. That's why most of the people that share that type of information are anons, completely anonymous, because it is one of those things that they do not care for you spreading the message about. So but I've had it pulled up 4 days. I've even got a counter. I've even got my little warning thing done. Like I have it all done, like legitimately. My warded deal I've had pulled up. I made it on a Photoshop. What is it called? Microsoft Outlook. See, video, mature audience only. I have all of it done. I'm just one of those things you kind of, it can become dangerous. It really can. So, but yeah, that's why when I see something happen like at Haiti, or something that's happening along our southern border, I don't just, a lot of people say, oh, voting base, and they're trying to bring in the undocumented voters. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I look at the undocumented kids. It's quite easy to lose a child over, when they don't have papers. But I will say this, though. Have you seen the stuff going on at the border?
A little bit. Yeah, a little.
Like a Texas border town reaches the deal with the DHS over illegal immigrant transfers. So this is the first thing I saw, right? This is from yesterday. It says the Texas border town and the federal government have reached a deal that stops the transfer of illegal immigrants to the border community, according to a report. And so it says under the agreement, illegal immigrants transferred to the border town from the Rio Grande Valley will no longer remain in Laredo, but will instead be released to city staff and bused to places like Austin, Dallas, and Houston. There you go, Texas. They're getting bussed right in. And nothing's changed. They've been doing this shit for 7 months. 7 months. And they reached an agreement to do what? Exactly what they've been doing? Awesome. And then I saw this, though. So hopefully, this was the same day. Court orders Biden to reinstate Trump's Remain in Mexico plan. So that happened. A federal judge ordered President Joe Biden's administration to reinstate the Republicans' predecessors' Remain in Mexico policy that forced tens of thousands of Central American asylum seekers to wait in Mexico. Well, I mean, is that going to do anything? I mean, I go ahead.
No, I just was, is it going to do anything? Apparently not, because, look what, it just seems to be getting worse, When's it going to stop? When are they going to do something about it?
This dude's been president for 7 months.
Yeah.
I let that sink in. 7 months. And he's destroyed our border. Any resemblance of a law. You got a judge that she held up a decision about, was it mask or vaccines? I'm trying to remember because this was yesterday. And even because I think Breaking was telling me about it. And she even said she thought it was illegal. You know what I mean? Like, okay, and I'm sorry, what were you again, a judge? So out in the open saying she believes that what she herself is ordering to maintain is illegal. So the justice system is shit.
Right.
And if you think all these people that they busted at the border have gone through Border Patrol, you're crazy. I'd say half of them have probably turned themselves in. That there's another half that, just jumped it and ran on in. Never reported anyone. But remember, we have this pandemic going on. You must stay home, America. You must shut down your business. You can't. Now they're threatening you to go, to go get things or do things unless you got a damn passport. But if you're coming through the southern border, whatever. That tells you they're full of shit.
Oh my gosh, it just makes no sense. It makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. And I don't understand why people don't get what's going on at this point. I still think, of course, there's still brainwashing and programming, and the media is so complicit and isn't telling people, what's going on. And now the news is just filled with the Afghanistan stuff. Look over here, this is happening. I'm not saying you shouldn't look over there, but it's like, then they're over here sweeping under the rug as much as they can. It's just such a machine.
Well, most of these people, go to these elite schools. They're part of these sororities, right? And then you think of what all the shit that they're calling COVID, Delta, Gamma, Lambda. We knew it was coming. Lambda variant. Give me a flipping break. They've never been able to isolate the very first virus. How the hell do they know it's mutated? They're like common sense stuff should come into play here. But of course, they're going to talk about it over in other countries like Peru and other South and Latin American nations. It can't happen where like that guy showed a video. I'll tell you, I went over to my dad yesterday, and he always, and for years, he said when him and my mother would make supper, they put this little 13-inch, I think it is 19-inch maybe, television in the kitchen on top of a pantry, and they sit down at the table and they would watch the evening news while they ate supper. Okay, so my dad to this day still does this. I just so happened to go over there. Well, this is happening, and you know how we are. We woke up to the propaganda and what I live in Tennessee. Okay, so everybody around here is walking around like it's nothing. I'm telling you, you live in a state that is going nuts and looking at you crazy because you don't have on a mask. Just remember, there's other places in America that we are not doing that. But anyway, so I walk in there, and the news is on, and it is all COVID. All the Texas doctor testifying in front of, we have children in the hospitals dying right now. They're dying. And I whipped out I was like, oh, hell no. So I had to come back over here. I grabbed my phone. I went back over there, and I showed him that testimony that doctor was giving in front of that council. It's been spread everywhere. It was in 3 parts on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And then I showed him that video of that man that went to that Austin hospital and shot video showing there was only 18 cars in the parking lot. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, Dad, they're overran. Look at this. Look at the craziness going on at this hospital. He kind of looks at it. I was like, Dad, this is why I'm telling you. The news is trying to scare the shit out of you.
Right. It helps if you have the time and you can do that. You can show them what they're seeing on the TV compared to what is, another narrative is, to just break the spell.
Yeah, I mean, it's dogma. It's like this freaking shit that they're doing. I mean, it's it is what it is. So what do? You push back. You do what these people are doing. Like, I'm not one of those. I'm not telling anybody what to do. You can follow who you want to follow. You can listen to who you want to listen to. You are all free folks to do what you need to do. Sonia, my opinion, they're all guilty of crimes against humanity. Pray for Nunberg for sure. Okay, I agree with you, Sonia. So, but like when I hear certain people say, like, well, just don't get erratic, just don't do anything. They're trying to goad you into reacting. Don't. Excuse me. What do you mean trying to goad us into reacting? So, see, this is where I differ some, and I'll just listen. Y'all know how I am. I'll tell you like it is. These are the same people that 2 years ago said, well, if they do this, then that's the line. If they try to push this, then no, we're gonna have to stand up, fight for our rights. Then that came, and they're like, well, I just had to do it here, so I deal with it now. So I'm watching these people shove their goalpost further and further over, make these declarations like, well, this is too far, and then they'll step over that line and create another one. I'm not telling anybody to do anything erratic or crazy, like what these parents are doing by speaking out at these school board meetings. These doctors are doing by talking to their health boards. Things like that can make a difference. But I am not going to sit here and tell you to idly sit by and not speak up if somebody's trampling on your damn rights.
Right.
I don't have a way to call in Bruce Q. Wayne. I try to do it Telegraph, but in Telegraph you can't hear the other people talking, so it makes it difficult when there's like more than one person in the room. And I'm sorry, guys, I don't get the funding to be able to like pay for the extra Zoom stuff where people do the call-in numbers. I'd love to, but I've invested enough in the stream, like out of my own pocket, and yeah. It just is what it is. I can't afford to pay for something else. It's gonna cost me $100 a month. So, but yeah, if you write your comments, I'll try to look down there and read them. But yeah, it is. I'm sorry, but it's, and then people. It's like, what did Jesus do? Did Jesus sit around on his hands and wait for God to rescue him or God to do what he needed? No, Jesus walked around and daggum changed minds.
Mm-hmm. He spoke out.
Yeah.
He also gave choice. He didn't force people to choose. He gave them a choice.
Getting a job. Yeah, I feel the same. It kind of it bothers me, and it does make me kind of sit and think and side eye some of those people that are like, no, y'all just don't do anything. It's just don't worry about it. They're trying to get you to do something. I'm like, what are you talking about? Are people watching what's going on in Australia and the UK? Because people from those countries watch us.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the Australia where they were going to have a protest the other day, and they sent out armed police, elbow to elbow. Okay, they're out there to enforce COVID restrictions, right? So if you don't have your 6 feet, your mask, all that other shit, then they were arresting people. But these police officers are standing elbow to elbow to enforce a rule that other people must maintain 6 feet apart. It's the same thing where they're coming down on these, like they came in down to Sturgeon, the bike rally, where Fauci was all like, oh no, Sturgeon's going to be a mess. But what are these people thinking? These horrible Americans. And then Obama throws a 700 person birthday party and nobody says a word.
And Lollapalooza went on for 2 days.
They talk about Lollapalooza. The Bonnaroo is coming to Tennessee in a week. Bonnaroo. Okay, that Bonnaroo is a massive music festival in the middle of a cow field. And yeah, there's this tickets sell out within 2 days. Okay, there's usually 200,000 people that descend on a tiny little southern town. I know. And
Well,
and
wait,
you
are
can
they
go look
the
on the Bonnaroo website, and it says nothing about COVID. Hang on, I'll show you.
are
Nothing
they
about
the
COVID.
intellectually vaccinated like at Obama's party though, or are they, conservative patriots? Because that makes a difference. COVID knows.
No, no shit. Look, I'll show you. Look, they're automatically sold out. This is the Bonnaroo's main website. I want y'all to look. Tell me if I'm missing something here. This is Bonnaroo. This is the music festival, September 2nd to the 5th in Manchester. 4-day tickets are sold out. They always have a massive lineup, like over 150 artists. It's a big damn deal. I mean, like there's a lot of people that come from all over the world and other countries to this thing.
Okay,
Do you
but
see anything about COVID up in here?
Foo Fighters, I thought they don't play except to vaccinated crowds.
But yeah, I'm sure. Nope. You see anything? There, hey, hang on. Let's go here to news. Surely it'll be, hang on, information. Read news. We'll go there. Bonnaroo pop-up shop. Nope. What's new at Bonnaroo? Refunds and right here. It'll have to say it here. New dates, refunds, and rollover. So it's going to bring up. We want to thank you for being a little Bonnaroo. We appreciate your patience as we navigate the best option sure we can be together on the farm in 2021. The dates for your original after Bonnaroo, blah, blah, have changed. Doesn't say why they changed, just say it's changed. Bonnaroo will now take place on September 2nd through the 5th. Information on lineup, camping, accommodations will be available at a later date. We encourage you to roll over your tickets to the new dates. However, we will make refunds available for those who cannot. That didn't even say a damn thing about why it was postponed. Not making that shit up. It just says we want to ensure we can be together. Doesn't say why they want to be together. Okay, there's the news. I'll do one more for you. Information, reserve, read the news. Information. Sure, it'll say something here, right? I can tell you nothing. I've looked at this. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you can get it right here.
So you have
It says you need a negative test to require. I'm going to tell you with almost 100% certainty the last day to receive the shot is a single dose shot. So the Thursday, August. They're not going to be able to scan or test all these damn people coming in the room. Okay, these are damn hippy dippy, smoking weed, loving peace, eating a shroom type people. Okay, this is Woodstock in a cow field. All right, they are not going to be able. These herd animals. It's a living nightmare the first day to get these people through the damn gate.
Oh my
But
gosh.
look how far I had to go to find that. I had to go to the bottom of the damn information page held under health and safety concerns because they know these people, especially the local people around here. Again, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to give you a secret. You can get into Bonnaroo free if you become if you work the event. So a lot of the unemployment agencies around here, about a month prior, will hire people temporarily for those few days to go work, like beer tent, stuff like that at Bonnaroo. Doing that, you get a free pass for that day. Okay. So I'm going to guarantee you that Ronstadt or those staffing agencies are not going to be like, oh, you must do this and this, because where we live right now, people would come unhinged. And so they'll just act like it and then they'll let it slide. They're not going to give up that money. You think they're gonna? These tickets cost like $500 for 4 days. They're not gonna let that shit slide.
Wow.
They're not gonna kick people out. It's hilarious.
Amazing.
But yeah, you cannot do a damn thing. Yeah, exactly, Quentin. They are. That's why I have this thing pulled up and have it pulled up for days. And I just am kind of a little apprehensive to share it. I'm telling you, the first video I had pulled to share is no appeals. To share is like rips the Band-Aid off. It's a shocker. It might throw some people into that's why I got that warning. It's not for everyone. Okay. Like when I do this, and my internet's been dropping out ever since I mentioned it. And I told you about that. I put that shit in Element.
Hmm.
And I tried to blame it on other people having issues. But like today, my modem has completely gone offline 2 times. And that's never done that before since my internet went out for 24 hours that day. Ever since then, my modem, it completely just tanks out. Like it's almost like I pulled the power out of the back of it and then plugged it back in. It's that kind of modem reset, which is crazy.
Weird.
Yeah, it's been doing it for a couple of weeks. But yeah. So yep. Because I'm telling you, you think I'm not trying to be a fear porn or anything, but it's covering that topic. You can talk things like Weinstein stuff, but when you get into the shit they do to the kids, yeah, they'll try to shut you up. And I've got that one video is nuts. Nuts. I mean, talking about somebody laying on the ground, pinned down, somebody shocking them, shit like that. So I don't know how much people will be able to take that. But I don't feel like hiding it from folks. I feel like people need to see that kind of stuff in order to understand how bad it is. These kids cannot stick their head in the sand. They don't have that. They don't have that luxury. They're the victims.
Do you
So it's
upload your videos someplace other than, I mean, like I can go back into YouTube and look at a past, episode, but do you have one other account where you upload to? Like, do you upload to Rumble yet or Gab?
No, I have D Live now keeps them twit. I mean, what is it? No Trollo don't. What did I just draw a blank on that?
Does
I just drew a
D
complete
Live
blank.
keep them for
No,
a
no,
little while?
no. Twitch does keep them
Twitch
for a
does.
little while now that I fixed that. But I
Okay.
used to put them all over there, but it is kind of just me that does that stuff. So, you get kind of worn out doing all the other stuff that I do. I've been doing this shit for a long time. So it's kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I started demanding taking like Saturdays off. I started doing that about 6 months ago, but it never fails. Somebody will always mention reach out on me on Saturday. And I get it. I'm not trying to be hateful about it, but because they're just used to reaching out to me, so I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, did you know what President Trump managed to do in office when he was in there that Obama said it would take a couple generations to fight out the Taliban and ISIS? You know what's going on now?
Are you talking about how the Afghanistan's just blowing up and not blowing up, but literally, well, you know what I mean? Like it's just they're retaking everything.
Mm-hmm. Taliban enters presidential palace as Afghan president flees the country. The Afghan president flees the country. Remember 7 months ago, they were so scattered, they were fleeing to other countries to try and hide because we had destroyed them so bad. Now look, since Biden's been in office in 7 months, they've managed to ramp. I wonder who's arming them. I wonder if Fast and Furious there, Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, Soko, I saw pictures and videos where they just left helicopters, they left them planes, they just left them artillery. I mean, basically just seemingly like it was left there and they grabbed it all. And so now they have it all. They have planes, they have helicopters, they have artillery. It's so flipping crazy.
And again, the thing to remember is this isn't like, oh my God, the Taliban has taken over the president. This is all planned. This is all part of keeping us in an endless war.
Yeah.
This is the warmongering. I mean, these people get together to plan out how to do this. This is not like the guy was shocked by it. They're like, oh, well, we need another war. It's time for, I don't know, who are we going to go after? Well, if this one's easy enough. Okay, you get in a helicopter, we'll protect you. Then we're going to act like these people, and then America's going to have to get involved because remember, Biden got so much shit because Trump said he was going to pull all the troops out. Everybody's like, well, what's happened to that? Then as soon as Biden says, oh, I'm going to send some people over there and we're going to remove the troops for safety reasons, this shit pops off. Nobody finds that coincidental. Nobody finds out like things 7 months ago that these people were so scattered into the wind, we didn't even hear about them anymore because ISIS and Taliban had been defeated. And now in 7 months, now they're taking over the president's palace.
right?
Yeah, okay. Nothing fishy there, bud. I mean, yeah, you're leaving them all this shit. What do you think this is setting us up for?
Right. We were going to go back into a war. It's just a matter of who we're going back into war with
Yes,
or how
Lockheed
many
Martin.
countries.
Lockheed and Boeing cannot handle the loss of their dividends for us ending and pulling troops out, so they supplying us with all that shit. It is a game of chess to these people. They just move the pieces sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, that like literally, I don't believe a damn thing. I mean, it's all over the news right now. What do you think's going to happen? Taliban enters Kabul as the Afghan government collapses. U.S. Embassy lowers the flag. U.S. Embassy lowers our flag. It's for the
Right.
Taliban.
Disclosed TV just put out a minute ago thousands of civilians trying to get an evacuation flight on the tarmac of Kabul airport in Afghanistan. It's so sad. And again, you know what? It's the poor people. It's the people just trying to live their flippin' lives, trying to survive that seemingly, you know, get wiped out, have the hardest time.
Look at these. Yeah, but look at the. Remember, these people were literally eradicated. Like we had all the reports of ISIS is over, Taliban's been defeated. Woohoo! Bring the troops home! Yay, President Trump! Woohoo! What a job! Yay! Now this shit. Now somehow we didn't hear about these people for months and months, and the first really reports we hear about them start to cover the news again is that the president's fleeing and they've taken over. Look at this vehicle. It's like a damn Nissan Frontier to me, even complete with the little windshield guards. Look at this shit. You're out in the desert, baby. There's a dent right there, but give me a break. Look at this. Look at this. This is what he's holding right here. He looks very clean and a nice new little outfit there. I wonder who's paying for that shit. I can tell you who I think's paying for it.
And how come COVID didn't wipe all these people out? You know, the soldiers and the prisoners. How come they didn't get wiped out with COVID?
Sonny, you are thinking too much now. Now, shh. Be a good little sheeple. Be a good little sheeple. You're not supposed to actually put those two things together. How dare you?
Or how do they have chips? And there's a big, shortage in chips for computers and all sorts of things right now. That's odd.
That's a good point, Sonny. How dare you make it? Let me go. Fuck. But yeah, it's nuts. The hippie version of the burning. Here we go again. Another saga on air lift tracking we paid for. Yeah, we paid for it. Exactly. The week we ain't enlisting and we ain't been drafted. This country has had enough. Yep. It's like, yeah, there's the stuff I get into rabbit hole. There's a whole lot of stuff with that. Like, again, I've been trying to make sure that my internet's stable enough to run it too. But I've thought about, even if it's on Sunday. Sunday seems to be, I don't know the day when my internet works, seems to be doing all right, especially in the evening. So if I come on air again, I'll pull all the channels on. I'll have to let everybody know I have to exclusively do it on Foxhole though. But I'm telling you, if you see me come on, I'll title the thing like ripping the Band-Aid off, or we're going back into the deep end, something like that. Mm-hmm. I'll make sure to give you a few minutes before the beginning. I'm telling you, the video that I've been fortunate enough to form relationships with people that I believe do really good research in these areas, and all of them are anonymous. People know who I am, and it scares me. There you go. It does worry me a little. If it was just me, I wouldn't be so concerned. But my dad does live next door to me. Mm-hmm. Telling you, this is not something you dabble in. Then if people don't like it, I'll watch for support on Foxhole. We don't really hardly get any gold pills. I'll tell you, if I don't get any gold pills for sharing that shit, I just won't do it again because it's not worth it. It's too dangerous.
Now, Foxhole will hold your video for a while, right?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. They do as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but I will. I'm telling you, when I say this, I'm not saying that I'm going to show you interviews or baby dolls. Okay, it's worse than that. And this is some of the I've seen worse that I won't share. But even in this one, it's a lot. First 25 minutes is almost worse than the last hour and a half. It's bad. But
Q777 dropped a diamond, so thank you for that. Thank you everyone for dropping, lemons and ice creams and things. And
But
Captain Kirk says,
I love Captain Kirk.
he's, wow, Laura, I'm on D Live, Trovo, and Telegram at the same time on a stinking cell phone, Laura. How the heck does he do that?
I don't know. God love him. I will drop that. There's the Foxhole thing too. And by the way, guys, I don't know if you're aware of this, but like on Foxhole, you do not have to be on your phone to use Foxhole. I have Foxhole on my laptop. I find because I think I've gotten so used to using Foxhole, you can do the peeled one too, peeled.net. But peeled.net has it's like all kind of like the boxes are on the front screen where you pick your stream, and in the Foxhole, it's all down the left side. It's pretty cool. I'm kind of used to it, and I'm telling you, it's there where I think I'll be able to share it. But yeah, it's Captain Kirk is hilarious. But yeah, it's telling you,
You
dude,
do that on a cell phone. I can barely find one stream.
and yeah, and I'm telling you, that kind of and that trying to cover that kind of content will change you. And there's your warning, telling you, researching it is sickening. I mean, it's hard, but even watching it can affect you. It's why sometimes I have to step away. Like watch silly things whenever I need to. I watch video gamers stream a video game. Just laugh at this one dude from North Carolina. I think he's hilarious because it wear down on your mind. It wears your mind down to watch that evil sick shit all, try to research it. But yeah, all this stuff ties back to Egypt. I can get into all that stuff, and I've said that for a long time. There's a reason why I tell people that their relationship with God needs to be their personal relationship with God. Don't rely on a church or denomination or somebody to tell you what you should think, or rely on your relationship with God. And there's a reason I say that stuff all the time. I'm bound to come in here and piss all y'all off for the shit that I've dug into, and pretty much damn pretty sure of. I mean, and I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to, like, I've kind of kept my mouth shut for a long time about it. Because when you get into politics or religion, those are the two deepest waters, you can wade in, because people are just dogmatic about certain things. But
right.
Trust me, I'm probably liable to piss a lot of you off, especially the people that, that do not want to hear anything bad about Israel. So I'll just go ahead and warn you there. Mm-hmm. So it is what it is. But I won't keep doing it if it's not supported, because it is just too kind of dangerous to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just is. But anyway, so moving on. Joe hammered for hiding. Did you know where Biden is? Biden? Biden's hiding in Camp David.
Yes. Yes. He's seemingly on vacation.
In Camp David.
Yeah. Yep.
Biden ordered a complete pullout of the U.S. from Afghanistan in April in the past week. See, let's just think about the timing. Think about the timing. Think about how we defeated these people while Trump was in office in months, when Obama said it would take years. And now Biden says something about pulling it out, send some troops over there last week, and all of a sudden, bam, president's fleeing, the world's ending. My God, they've somehow got these new trucks and badass guns. I don't know. I mean, I guess they were hiding in the caves, and they came out with their new, M80s. They got pigeon fluid to them. Hell, I don't know. The camel walk. You hear that thunder? But I mean, it says Biden ordered complete pullout of the U.S. from Afghanistan in April. I'll show you, by the way. I just listen. Come on, we're not dumb. Complete pullout of the U.S. from Afghanistan in April. In the past week, the Taliban has conquered multiple major cities across the country and entered the nation's capital of Kabul. Afghan President Ashraf Ghani fled on Sunday morning, all but sealing the Taliban's takeover of Afghanistan. Just here you go. No problem. Bye. While the Taliban have blitzed across Afghanistan in the wake of U.S. military forces pulling out, please. Biden has been absent from Washington. The president left the Capitol on Thursday for Camp David, the presidential retreat, and has been there since. Biden notably did not take questions from reporters about Afghanistan before he left. Why is Joe Biden hiding? He should immediately address the nation and answer the catastrophic situation in Afghanistan. Conference calls between cabinet secretaries. I wonder, how many of you guys believe this shit? Let me see if I'm in my own damn boat over here rowing with one oar. How many of you actually believe, I'm going to look at everybody, pull this shit for me, pull out more chat rooms, pop out YouTube. How many of you believe that this is what the media is telling us, that Biden announced we're pulling out, and all of a sudden the Taliban come out from their caves and they had new trucks and new guns and like, yes, exactly, short bus, exactly, and that's why I just make that distinction. When I say that people are evil in certain religions, I will have people that will DM me and be like, certain denomination, right? So, and I'm like, whoa. I never paint with a big broad brush. I just don't do it, because there are evil people in all kinds of different factions. I mean, Christianity, Catholics, Jews, Muslims, you name it. And then there are good people that have no clue what these upper echelons are doing. I completely agree with that 100%. That's why I won't say things like all or, everyone. There are some great people in this world that have no freaking idea. Yeah, okay. What is it? Oh, somebody gave me a gold pill. Oh my God, I'm going to thank this damn book. Ellie May Slayer gave me a cookie. Says, Ben scratching off tickets. I'll wait to send cookies. Oh, thanks, Ellie. You're so sweet. So now, I said September 11 coming. Everyone pray for America's safety. Media full of shit. Don't watch him. I said, exactly. And Zen said, I don't believe the damn thing the media says. Norm says, bullshit. Quint says, have you heard of the Quant family? Ties between the NHS passport chums of Boris, links to Joseph Goebbels, Hitler's right hand man. Listen, they're all tied to that shit. That's what I'm saying. It's like they all sit around some big dinner table and it's like, how are we going to screw with the little people this year? Like these Bilderberg meetings and shit like that. There's a reason why these people laugh and are having fun and having 700 parties maskless, and they're telling all you little sheeple that you need to lose everything. They're telling all these landlords, you can't even collect your rent. I don't give a shit. There's a story on Twitter today I have pulled up for today. A single mother that's about to be homeless, and she can't force out a tenant that's $25,000 behind in rent. And she's about to be homeless with the kids. And she wants to move into that property she has. And they're like, and everybody's like, oh, the poor tenant. What about the poor damn people that invested everything in these rental properties?
Right. They're going to have to give up their properties and lose their properties because the people aren't paying rent.
Yeah. But it's listen, it's a sad day. And I don't know. It's like you have to stand up for yourself. You have to stand up for your rights. And anyone that's out there telling you to sit on your hands and just wait for something else to happen, that's not what Q taught us. Like, listen, I will say this. I understood people's road that they traveled. I've been in this since the very beginning, guys. Okay, I didn't come in a year after I've been in since like freaking day one. Okay, and gave a lot of time and energy into the research of it, or on air, or off air, behind the scenes, stuff like that. And after he basically vanished, the team, whatever you call it, left, I was hurt. I was like, oh my God, what the hell? Were we duped, or did we learn everything we needed to know, or whatever? And I had to sit and still myself and push out every outside influence and all the noise and all that stuff, and sit and be like, what am I talking about? I want to tell you what that movement did. That movement brought several people that studied several different things, and it brought them together. You got your researchers of 9/11. You got your researchers like me that get into the secret societies and that will eventually lead into the trafficking and stuff. Or you've got people that, study the geopolitical side of things, or the people that study the AI type of stuff. And they all had their own little pocket of the things that they love to research. Right. What he did was bring every one of those little factions together and create a team of people that were on one mission to find the truth. And they all brought in their specialties, right? Or the people that they trusted, or the things that they could bring to the table. And it all was a big wide web that was cast, and everybody's research was important. Yes.
I like that perspective, Soko. I haven't heard anyone lay it out like that.
Yeah, but the problem is that, like, to me, it's like that momentum is that how weak we are? Are we that weak that whenever he stopped posting, everybody just like, well, fuck it, Tuesday, let's roll on. It's like, what? Could you imagine how frustrating it would be to give people the knowledge and send them on the path? I don't give a shit if it was Kathy down the street or the vice president of Q. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn who Q was. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It matters what happened in that time. It matters what should be taking place now. It matters that people should not lose that momentum. The left is scattered everywhere. Okay. There's mindless people on Twitter that can't even read a damn study, and they think they know everything. The thing that I pride this group of people with is that you're smart enough not to believe the first thing that you hear. You're smart enough to know how to go in and look for it yourself. I don't need you to agree with everything that I say. And if I do, I'm a narcissist asshole. Okay, because I'm not going to be right about everything. Ever. I'm going to screw up sometimes. But what Q did was awaken a massive group of people that all felt lied to for whatever reason. And he brought us, he, who, she, whatever, brought us together and made us a huge force. I don't know. Yeah, I just feel like we don't need to lose that momentum. They were the same people out here that are like, you're not going to take my rights away. But look, again, I live in America. We are fighting back hard. We're having these protests, and that's awesome. But God dang, look what's happening in the UK and Australia and other parts of the world, in South Africa. Look what's happening there.
Mm-hmm.
That's alarming to me. I worry for those people. Listen, I love America. I'm happy to be from America. I have a lot of pride of being born in America. But guys, you're just as strong as we are. You're just as strong as we are. Find your neighbor. Find your brother. Find the person that's awake like you are. It's like, and then just get together and talk about a strategy of calling who you need to call, or protesting who you need to protest. Or there is a line that it's not wrong to have a line. We didn't get free in America because we sit on our hands. At some point, you have to push back. And I know people don't want to think it's their generation that's going to be the one that has to stand back up and say, hell to the no, you're not doing this shit. We're not freaking sheep. But sorry, guys. I mean, we might be the generation, you know what I mean? Because if you haven't looked behind you lately, we're in for some deep shit if it lays on their shoulders. Just saying. I mean, you need to draw your line and say, I'm not going to let them take this freedom from me, and I will do everything in my power to not allow them to do it. And then stand your damn ground on it. Don't make excuses and move the goalpost and move the goalpost and move the goalpost. Now, again, if you have children and you have a family and stuff, don't get me wrong, that has got to be hard. I understand that. I can't imagine. You have a child that needs help, or like say medical care, or like even the time I bent the knee when my dad needed surgery to remove his cancer. Like, what's the choice you're going to make there? But the sick part is they freaking know it.
Right.
They freaking know it. So find the like-minded people. Find the people that understand. Like, I'll try to find that clip I saw. That maybe will explain it better too.
Well, I did see Oklahomans went into the Capitol and peacefully protested about masks and vaccines, mandatory vaccines. So that happened over the weekend. LA, there were clashes with there were citizens protesting, and they clashed with, I believe, Antifa. And so that was going on this weekend.
Well, you have people that it's like I don't want to say wearing their wheel down. It's like, who has I hate to say it, but I mean it is the truth. Who has the stronger will? Do we have the will to still stand on the side of truth and keep trying to pump out the truth and the information? Because it reminds me of that story a couple of weeks ago with that person, I think they were in California or whatever, that put out that, I'm worried I'm going to be red pilled. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
It's like, oh, good Lord, no shit, but it's hilarious because the truth of the matter is that it is who has the strongest will. And again, I'm not saying for anybody to ever go do anything damn crazy, but what I am saying is everybody knows the term bulling the frog. How do you think they bull a frog? They do things super slow. Mm-hmm. And then I'm watching, there's like the same people that will like slowly move that goalpost with the slow bulling of the frog. Much sorrows I've been battling research. Yeah, exactly. Kentucky Patriot Simplify says, with much knowledge comes much sorrows. I've been battling and researching since late 70s. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there, but again, I think that's what Q did the best, is that he brought all these different factions of people together and created like what Flynn said, is a digital army. Well, sometimes you can't be a digital army anymore. You have to have put your feet on the damn ground and be an ass moving army and get out there and stand up for your rights. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you have to go run for office.
Right.
That's why I encourage people all the time. Please, please, if you can, run for damn office. I don't give a shit if you think, what am I going to do? Okay, I've been a stay-at-home mother for 15 years. I know how to make peanut butter cookies. I don't know how to run a city. Well, guess what, Sally? I guarantee you do a better job than the asshole that's been in office for 15 years that's slowly stripped away our rights. I'll put my money on you, Sally. Go run.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this was from several months ago, but I saw this clip. You ever watch a video and then the next one kind of generate and play for you? I've been having to dig back into the research of the stuff, the darker stuff, to see what I could pull and present to everybody. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. It's just, God dang, it is not easy. Okay. But she played Amazing Polly's, one of her videos started playing. And I was just like, you know what? This clip started playing. And I was like, she's got a good damn point. And she said, listen to this woman in the media, where she ventured out of her bubble in DC and went out to Wyoming. And this was in February. And she says, you can tell that she's just dumbfounded how many she could. I'll just let it play. Turn it up.
Mentioned Tara Palmieri, co-author of Politico's Playbook, who was in Cheyenne yesterday for the Matt Gaetz versus Liz Cheney rally. Donna and John are still with us. Tara, this does look like an animated part of the party there.
Definitely. And I think that they see themselves now on a crusade for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is way more popular than she is, from the people that I spoke to. And I actually went out of my way to try to find someone who would defend her. And I really couldn't. I went, and then I left the rally. I went and talked to people on the street, right? I wanted to hear what they had to say. I went to different types of shops, restaurants, everything. I talked to ranchers, and literally Trump, she didn't have that much name recognition considering she's a Cheney. Like, a lot of people just thought she was a senator or a mayor, and they weren't willing to go out in a primary and vote for her. What I heard overwhelmingly from the people that were against her, she did not vote for Wyoming when she voted to impeach, and therefore she has to go. Nicole, people wouldn't talk to me with my mask on. They think the numbers are grossly inflated. People aren't going to get vaccinated there. This isn't just a minority issue. These people are distrustful of the vaccine. They think that either the insurrection was staged, it was Antifa. They don't watch the news. They don't want to hear about it because it pollutes their thoughts about Trump. It's just the same talking points that you're hearing from QAnon and Trump supporters and their gospel. You couldn't reason, it was hard. It was really difficult for me because you can't, they're looking at you too. You're a reporter coming in, right, from Washington to get get a feeling of the pulse. But I truly felt that I couldn't find anyone to really defend Liz Cheney. And then I also met people from Jackson Hole, like these kind of, soccer moms driving 6 hours together with their teenage daughters to come out against Liz Cheney. And, they weren't wearing masks. And when I asked them why they were wearing masks, they said everyone got COVID in Jackson Hole over Christmas, right? And that their kids weren't going to be vaccinated. I just saw like this mask issue was definitely hanging over it, and this kind of belief in the conspiracies. So it's just not penetrating out there.
It's just not penetrating out there.
For me, I was just irritated with her that she thinks she's some superior person over these people. The arrogance.
She looked like she was about to fucking cry.
These soccer moms and their daughters. Yeah.
I'm here to tell you that shit's crazy.
These soccer moms and their daughters have relationships.
Yeah, look, she was about to cry. Her feelings were hurt that all these people in Wyoming wasn't listening to the dogma on fucking television. How dare you, Wyomingians?
And why would anybody at this point, Republican conservative, support Liz Cheney? She is not either. She's in the wrong party. Remember,
that is the majority. Why do you think the news is constantly trying to cram down your throat? Look at all these mass people. Look at all these people going in to get this. Look at all this. And then you can go on Twitter and find somebody getting their damn car and ride to the hospital and videotape it. It's like a ghost town. The weeds rolling through the parking lot. Ain't nobody there. The testing sites. No one's there. A guy goes out and films a dude sitting at a table by himself for hours. Nobody shows up. They are worried. I'm going to tell you something else. I'm sure most of you noticed. Okay. Notice that whenever Q was around, barely any media covered it. Any media covered it. You might have a Media Matters troll do an article on it. You might have somebody whisper the shit out there every once in a while, but it was rare. Okay. It was rare because they were scared. They were scared. Then whenever he left, all of a sudden, look at how much he's brought up and how many hit pieces are done and how all of a sudden they're smiling again and comfortable they are. And like, oh, they'll just trash it. And you're all crazy people. You know what I'm saying? It scared them. Why? Because there was so much truth to it. And all their shit was being revealed. Like that lady that was caught on the hot mic whenever she said she had the Epstein story 3 years ago and the network buried it because of the royal family. And then look at Prince Andrews.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are. And that's why these platforms and people trying to stream here and talk to you guys and bring you the truth, it is important. And there are better people, that do it versus like, I think I'm a decent chatter, but like I've been into the symbology stuff and the bloodlines, things like that for years. Okay. So I never really wasn't like the geopolitical stuff, the financial stuff. That wasn't what I got into. And for me, talking about things that I research are difficult because they can crack people's brains. Like it's some sick shit. I don't know how else to say it. And it does, you can change you. But he brought so many, he brought so many people together that just in the core of their being knew that they had been lied to and that there was another agenda underneath the surface of it all. And it was like finally a relief that people had found other people that would listen to it.
Right.
That would, that they didn't feel like they were alone. And then they walk out the door and they realize half the people in their damn town or 3/4 of people in their town are on their side.
Relationships were built, community, the human spirit. People embraced one another and you weren't crazy anymore.
Yeah, it's like a friend indeed said you scared them because they didn't get it. And that's exactly right. That's why, listen, every group, every movement's going to have you crazy people, okay? I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings here. I'm just being real with you guys. Every moment's gonna have your crazy people. You're gonna have your fringe people that kind of bring up nutso shit. And then you're like, oh my God. And you let it kind of go and be like, oh, those are the special people. We still love them, but they over there in the corner with the padded room, and we just let them play with the toys. You know what I mean? We all knew it. We all knew it. We didn't take them seriously. I didn't. I'm sure most of you didn't either. But like, they're in any movement, they're in any faction, they're out there. You're not going to get rid of your crazies. You're always going to have your pocket of crazies. Okay. But that's what the media jumped on to try and discredit the whole damn thing.
And you have that on the left too, though. Look at some of these popular anchors. I won't mention any names. In my humble opinion, are stark raving mad. They're nuts.
That's what I said. You have them in everything. You have them in churches with certain, or like preachers or pastors. You'll have them in judges. You have your corrupt ones that can be bought off. I mean, again, across the board. So of course, it's going to have people in it that are like way off on the deep end and see something and just read so much into it. You're like, whoa, boo, put on the life vest, hold on to the sides of the pool because you are in the deep shit. Like we just sat over here and was like, okay, how cute, pet their heads, and then you get over here and get into the real shit. But the media latched onto that to try and make us all sound crazy. And again, that's just a way to make people run and bury their head in the sand and then try to distance themselves because they don't want to be labeled as some lunatic. You can't let them do that shit. Yeah, I'm not going to let them do that shit to us. I'm not, because I didn't spend 4 years of my life giving a shit about the truth. So some mainstream media nut job like Brian Stelter, who also said, by the way, 3.5 years ago, it was going to be Trump supporters that started attacking the media. And then fast forward 2 months later, when some whack job went out and shot up people on the baseball field, that was a Bernie supporter, not a Trump supporter, by the way. And they don't cover that shit. I will never let Brian Stelter leave that comment down. That pissed me off when he said it 3 years ago, and it still does to this day. But we cared about the truth. And again, we could mess up. But a lot of us came on air and owned our shit too. And said, you know what? All right, we jumped on that one. Doesn't sound like it's legit. Well, maybe there's more to the situation than that. But they shouldn't be able to rob us of what we created. We gonna just hand it to them, like Afghanistan just handed the Taliban the presidential palace. Well, we are not them, folks. We are not them. And be proud of all the time and energy and effort you put into this. It's important. You are important. All of it was important, and it still is to this day. Mm-hmm. That's the people in Wyoming right now with that poor entitled little journalist went out there and her head imploded because she couldn't find one single person to defend Cheney. Well, shocker, she's a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Not everybody lives in D.C. is a bubble. California is a bubble, and I feel sorry for the people that live in like outskirts in California. Like Tennessee doesn't want to claim dumbass over in Memphis, and the damn dumb mayor in Nashville. We can just flick them over to California, lop that bitch off, and float it out in the middle of the ocean. Say peace out. We'll do the same thing with New York. Cut that off, lop that out into that damn ocean. Be like, whew, okay, we can all breathe a little bit now. Load up the people from D.C., put them on the fucking bus, ship them over to California, New York, let them take their pick. Americans can all breathe a little bit easier. You know what I mean? Like the truth of the situation is, run for gosh dang office. Encourage someone or encourage someone that that would be good at it, that would be good at it, that doubts themselves. Build that ego up. Say, no, you'd be great. You can learn. You can learn. We'll help teach you.
Okay, that jogs my memory about Mike Lindell's symposium and how people, were upset about it. But for me, I thought it went the way it was supposed to go. They had something planned, and for me, I felt like God had other plans. There were other things that were supposed to come out of it. For me, I saw people unite and relationships being built and people encouraging each other, teamwork. Now they've got a coalition of the reps that were there, and they have each other now. They're not alone. I I thought a lot of it was about relationships. I know there was technical stuff and this PCAPs or whatever, and I'm not into all of that. I tried to watch as much as I could to support him and stuff. And I just, Mike's, I think, got a really big heart, and I think he tries to do the right thing. And God can use situations and people, and we have no idea what's going to come out of that symposium. But I do think that is one thing that came out of it.
Yeah, well, to me, I understand because listen, I've been through these peaks and valleys too, guys. I get it. It's so frustrating to watch so many people talk about shit and not do a damn thing. You know what I mean? So like, it's kind of like people build up all their hopes. It's like, guys, if I had a damn nickel every time somebody messaged me about the Durham report coming, do you think I'd be sitting here? No, bitches. I'd have my own island out in the middle of the Pacific, sipping out of my coconut, inviting a handful of y'all to come hang out with me every other weekend. You know what I mean? So I've gotten to the point when the Durham report, I was like, I'll believe it when I see the shit. Okay. Stop telling me it's coming out tomorrow or next week or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I will agree completely, Sonny, to say, don't let those things creep into your head and frustrate you to the point of where you like that should be the message that you're getting. Create your own damn message. Build your own little patriot, parade. Go out and find the people that want to research it. Reach out to me if there's something that you want to cover online or you want to bring attention to. Sonny will help you, I'm sure, as well. I don't know. Just don't lose the momentum that 3.5 years built for us, because there are so many of us. And I hate the thought of losing those people to frustration and saying, well, just throw your hands up in the air. I'm telling you right now, I'm most worried about people across the pond. I am.
Because can you say a little bit more about that? How come?
Because of how they're using the police against them. They're going into their homes and arresting pregnant people because they're, they tweeted something out in a message, or have the police standing outside in Australia to go arrest people that want to come out and hold a protest. They've locked them down in Sydney like like you wouldn't believe. You've got the politicians coming on there. You've got in the UK, you got Boris Johnson saying they're going to be demanding vaccine passports, with their population. The same guy that, a year ago said, oh, we will never give vaccine mandates. It's now the same thing that Biden did. Biden's edging into it. But remember, they're more concerned about us in America because we still have our Second Amendment. They've managed to strip all that shit from everybody else in other countries. So they feel, I'm sure, I don't want to speak for people there, but I'm sure they don't feel like they have the ability to defend themselves like we still do here in America.
Mm-hmm.
I feel for these people.
I'm amazed at the people, the videos coming out of there of the people in the streets, though. People, banding together and, protesting.
Good for them. Good for them. I think that's why Australia, it's heart-wrenching because Australia media for the last year, some of it has been really, really good. Like where they're calling out the bullshit, they're calling out Biden. They've been doing really, really good. I was encouraged by their media, but it's almost like you can see the boot come down on their face, and then them all starting to push out the talking points that we all learned about 3 years ago, the 4 a.m. talking points. Again, I don't know. It's like I watch all these ships of refugees be shoved into coastlines, and I just wish there was a reverse boat to put all the patriots on and at least bring them over here for a while. You know what I mean? Let all that shit settle. Let them all war that crap out. Y'all come over here and just, put your feet up by the lake for a couple months.
Right.
I do worry about those people. Because you have to imagine when you have children, it's a whole nother ball game. When you have kids, when you're it's not just you risking your safety. Like, listen, I'm scared to cover some of this content I've talked about doing now for a month. I mean, I've had cops sitting in my house twice. You know what I mean? My internet keeps getting taken down. I've got crazy freaking text messages ever since I just mentioned about covering it. And I live alone. I have an 8-pound dog. Don't get it twisted about there. Listen, I'm very well armed, by the way. But I'm concerned for my dad, because it's not just me.
But you also feel this this need or this that you have to get it out too.
Yeah, it bothers me to no end. It bothers me to no end. That I understand. Listen, the border is important. Of course it is. All these mandates they're trying to shove down our throat. Of course, all these things are important that people cover and keep in the limelight. But for me personally, it bothers me that.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I bounced out. Well, we're still in here. Okay, Soko, I can't hear you at all, and we're still in Zoom. Still in Zoom, but I can't hear Soko. All right. So you're saying we're 5 by 5 now? Okay, I refreshed. I can hear myself through Zoom. Okay, but I do not hear Laura. I hear you, Soko, but you're roboting.
I've got to switch my mic. See, that's another thing that started happening too. Every time I start Zoom, my microphone jacks up and I sound like a frog. And I have 2 microphone settings. It doesn't matter which one I'm on. All of that matters is I have to swap them out. That's what matters.
Oh, so odd.
But I'm telling you, people think I'm kidding. Look what happened the minute I mentioned it.
That is weird.
The minute I mentioned about the look on their faces and how they started all behaving after, while he was posting and then afterwards. Look what happened. We've been on this whole time. First time we had an issue when I said that.
Yep.
I mean, weird. It is what it is. That's what I said. Sunday might be a weird day to do it, but it's probably, and that evening is my best day to try and stream that stuff. Because again, while we were sitting here chit-chatting, if you looked at my laptop, it said I was not connected to the internet and I was back in Zoom with you.
Yeah.
That's weird now. When your laptop is saying connect to your internet and I'm on the internet. Yeah.
That is bizarre because you were in Zoom. You didn't drop out.
Yeah. I was out. I dumped twice on mine. But that's what I mean is I'm not trying to see in my YouTube won't even load back up. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you following an account, or I hate that word following, but you know what I mean? Like, do you have an account called Open Secret on Twitter? Did you see the stuff he's been dropping just over the weekend?
I've been doing all this other stuff.
Okay, I'm going to grab this share quick if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so this Anton Tony Lazaro, 30, a Republican Minnesota political operative and Fox News guest, is charged with child sex trafficking. Recruited 6 minor victims to engage in commercial sex acts. And there was actually another person that got, he doesn't have it, but someone else. Oh, here it is. Nope, that's not it. There was another woman that was actually helping him do that. Shoot, I just lost his account. So anyway, then to go on. So what you're talking about is important because there was a post about Jimmy Fallon. Twitter isn't letting Horatio Sands or Jimmy Fallon trend. I wonder why. And this Open Secret says, "Hi, Jimmy Fallon. Why did you consume alcohol with a 16-year-old girl at an SNL after party? The same girl your co-host Horatio Sands was sexually assaulting at the time." So there is a lawsuit or a court case about this happening with Jimmy Fallon. And there actually was another person too, but I can't remember what the name was, but it was a Hollywood person, or Holly Weird, as I like to call them.
Yeah, it's well, now people maybe understand why I said that. Again, I try not to be a greedy person. That's why I don't make a big deal about the donations. It has bothered me the last year. It's been pretty rough, but that's why I just won't, I won't start sharing that kind of content. Like right now, I have 105 gold pills in Foxhole. And that's where I would have to share this video. I can't do it anywhere else. That's why I shared the link out there to you guys to join it. Again, it's easy. It's not hard. I wouldn't ask you to do something if I didn't think you guys could do it or whatever. It's just like joining any of the other ones. But it is a risk to do it. And it is what it is. Y'all don't have to. Don't get me wrong. They don't have to. But I won't do it for, $1. It's too much of a risk, man. It just is. Because I guarantee you that my security camera that's out front, I'll buy another one, put it out back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And again, this is why it's strange, is because I'm not trying to be hyperbolic. I'm being dead serious. I don't talk about the death threats. I don't talk about the crazy messages. I don't talk about the window gets shot out my driveway. It has happened. You watched me bring it up a while ago and bring up the elites, and my modem completely went offline. Because they do know what you're talking about. You can talk about what you just talked about. It's when you get into the actual, like the rituals and stuff. And like I'm watching my modem now, because it's they're sick freaking people, guys. They're sick people. And so I think that's probably why I have issues with my computers, because I actually have to research this stuff. And it's
do you think you got the malware or viruses off your computer?
I've ran it on both. It's again, so you have to think, to prepare to kind of cover for this content, I have to dive back down into it, right? I have a lot of stuff pulled, but there's stuff I don't really want to keep on my computer, you know what I mean, like save it. So I have to go fish it kind of back up. And so you're searching for that kind of stuff, and it's it is what it is. I'm telling you, that's the one part that scares them the most, because how they function, how they used Epstein. All of you know this stuff, and again, thank you, Sonia. I appreciate that. I know, honey, and I know not everybody can, and that's why it's even strange. But I'm just telling you the truth, and I ain't worth risking my safety. It's not. I mean, I can talk about political stuff all day long, but this stuff is it's anyway. But it's like how they used Epstein. Epstein was basically the middle, what do you call him? The dealer, if you will. Like, your drug dealers, he was a kid dealer. Okay. Whatever you wanted, you just order it through him. You just want to be a little sicko that messes with children and blah, blah, blah. Okay, we can do that. You want to amp it up and have a hunt party? No, well, we can figure that out. You want to do, you were really into the really bad stuff where at the end of the day, the child's not going to be breathing anymore. Yeah, he was a facilitator for you. And so he was just one. He's not the only one, but that's why you had Madonna come out there and they give messages. They send messages, coded messages to each other. How much sense does it make that Madonna goes out there and sings a song, fried fish, because there's no more pasta? I mean, come on. Because Trump had shut down the border, and so they couldn't get kids in that way anymore. Epstein had been arrested. Harvey Weinstein was getting called out. We had the Me Too movement. They were scared. And then you notice how all of them started looking a lot older. You know what I mean? They're looking a lot more stressed out, more wrinkles, because they weren't get their youth serum.
Yeah, there's been plenty of articles on that too.
And
if you pay attention. Yeah,
and it's the truth. So that's, again, like what I'll go back to what you said. That's why, yes, it bothers me, because there are so many important things going on in the world. For me personally, there's nothing more important in this entire movement than stopping what's happening to these kids. Me personally.
Yep, and we haven't heard about the kids as much as we were at first on the border.
Mm-mm. You don't really hear about it much anymore at all because there's so much other stuff going on. And so they've, in my mind, they've won, in that category for right now. And if I have to, it's not easy to dive down in this shit either. I mean, it changes who you are.
Right.
There's the stuff that I wouldn't want anybody to see that I have seen. That you can't even, I can't even talk about without tearing up.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what's best for you, Soko, so be safe.
Yeah, it's just that there comes a point in time when it's like, I get it. I get what people cover is important, but my God, man. All these people be set off on a boat, I'm telling you, and then we need to chum the water for great whites and then just sink the damn boat. That's how sick some of these people. And there was that Brantford guy. Thanks, Dad. My dad just brought me fried chicken. Okay, Dad, thank you. God love him. He brings me over a plate of food on the weekend. Bye, Dad. You hear my dog? He calls my dog baby. Me, here's your chicken. But that guy, I'll have to dig him back up. I think this is Bradford or something. But he talked about he was he ran the finances for it. Is that too loud? Can y'all hear that? My dog is barking at my dad. But see, that's what I mean. That's why it scares me because he lives so close to me. You know what I mean? He literally lives as my next door neighbor. So it worries me for him. But he talked about how he was the broker. He's the one that kind of laundered the money and stuff like that. And there's a reason why they try to shut those people up. They want to talk. He said, what was it? He said it was about 8,000 to 8,500 people that were actually the people that were like pulling the strings, that were of the upper echelon. They were in these bloodlines. Everybody else was like their little foot soldiers who had their names, like I was trying to mention earlier about Epstein having the book. You know how they blackmail these people, they get them in compromising positions. And it all ties back. You can link all this shit together. Okay, think about how Scientology works. What does Scientology do to keep their people enslaved in that religion? They put them on the cans. What do they do when they're on the cans? They give up their deepest, darkest secrets. And then people in Scientology put this in a folder. They write it all down. They write down everything you've done bad in your life. And then they threaten you to expose you if you ever turn on the, quote, familia, if you know what I mean. What did NXIVM do? Same damn thing. They made the girls they let into the upper sorority have to sit there and give some kind of nefarious information about themselves. They called it collateral. And so they kept those people quiet and doing what they wanted to do because they had all this information on them, like blackmail. You can look at what scammers are doing now in India. They're calling over here to America. They're getting men on the phone. They're pretending to be some really pretty 25-year-old Filipino woman or whoever, sending fake pictures, getting these dudes to send compromising pictures of their man parts with their face in them. There's a reason why they ask for your whole body and your face. And then they turn around and start threatening these men that if you don't start sending them all this money, they're going to leak all these images to all your social media and your families. They did it to one 18-year-old boy. He didn't even have a damn job. The poor boy wound up killing himself. I mean, all these different people, you're talking about stupid scammers over there across in India, all the way up to the Epsteins of the world know how to utilize blackmail.
Right.
That's why you see a lot of these, some of these stars and stuff, just like pack up and damn leave for a while. Like, but Dave Chappelle went to Africa for whatever it was, 6 months. He talks about it a little bit. And what they tried to do when he left, they all tried to say, oh, he was a drug addict. He's on drugs. He's a druggie. That's why. They try to ruin your life if you don't get in line. Mm-hmm. And because people are so scared of what other people think about them, look what they've done to our youth. Okay? Look what they've done to our youth. They've got our youth so messed up in the head that they're more concerned about how many likes they get on Instagram or how many retweets they get on Twitter versus what their parents think about them or the people, people living next door to them. They care more about what strangers think about them. Oh, yes, short bus. Yeah, they got me when I started talking about the whole, other stuff. But they care more about what strangers think about them than they care about the people that, are in their lives, really, that really, truly care about them. So when you start manufacturing this mass psychosis of a whole generation of people that are really worried about what everyone else thinks about them, that they hold their own value in random strangers liking what they share on social media, it's really easy to blackmail.
Hey, just want to say Tracy Truthism, Wang Dang Doodle, Jolene Jetson, Care 15. Thank you for dropping ice creams and diamonds and lemons. Captain Kirk, thank you. Thank you all. Appreciate it. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Go ahead, Laura. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. Thanks for doing that. Because when I get on these kicks, I am it's if you can't hear, I'm ripping off toilet paper because like that when I started talking about that one thing, there's just one. I can't even talk about it. There's just one image of this little boy.
Thank you, Dandy 002. Thank you, IT3. Appreciate it.
They put him in like this stock pot and slid him in the oven.
Oh
and
my
you can't
gosh.
erase those things out of your head. So yeah, I'm a little pissed that nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
They are sick. I mean, look at Katy Perry. She did this one Bon Appetit video or whatever. And at the very end of it, she's sitting at a table with a steaming pot of legs and feet shit sticking out. Do you think that that's entertainment? Or you think that's a message? Or you think that's mass psychosis and mental programming and dumbing people down enough to not having an issue? Look what happened to Nike and Little Nas when he came out with the Satan shoes and the media hysteria that happened after the Little Nas Satan shoes. What happened right after that? Converse came out with Satan shoes. These people know the risk that they're taking, but what are they doing to you?
It's almost like, don't you think like when they put it out in the paper like that and people are read it and they're like, they react to it like energy wise, you like are horrified, like, oh my gosh, that's horrible. Is that real? The whole reaction to it too. And then, then it goes away. It gets lost or memory hold or whatever you want to call it. And then the next thing. Is that part of it?
Think? I think that in a nutshell, I'll just use round numbers. When Little Nas did that stuff with Nike, let's say 1 million people flipped out about it. 1 million people tweeted, called the company that Converse comes out of with it, 3 months later, and maybe 700,000 people made a huge stink about it. You see what's going on?
Right. And so like the Katy Perry, she does these, dress up videos and everyone, and you get exposed to it, but then it becomes less and less that you're alarmed.
Yeah, they program you to deal with it and get over it. And that's why, look at all the sexual content music videos.
Mm-hmm. That's like
even all the shit I know, my favorite genre of movies is horror films. Even all the stuff that I know. Why are we intrigued in watching horror films? Why do we want to see that gore and fear and all that other stuff?
Right. Well, even like the Super Bowl, that they would come out last year and do such a satanic ritual in front of everybody at the Super Bowl. And, you didn't see much about it. These kind of channels were talking about it, but the mainstream media wasn't talking about it. Look at all the people that just, Franklin Graham tweeted out, and his account is started on Twitter, and he's like, oh, what was that I just watched? You guys have to, help me understand what I just saw on the Super Bowl, halftime show. And it's like, that's not true. He knows what that was. And people were like, answering him. And it's like, what are you doing? You're Franklin Graham. You were out there.
Yeah,
Don't tell
it's
me you don't know what that was about.
yeah, I'll show you only because I've been digging this stuff up to cover it here and trying to. I'll show you. They do witchcraft, spells, cantations. They sell their soul to the devil, yes, but in the process, they also do these mass spiritual things, mass spells. Again, right out for everyone to see, and almost in a mockery. That's the mocking tongue. That's why they stick their tongue out. It's the all mocking tongue. Remember, Kanye West's mother died. She died. She had a procedure. She was supposed to be watched in her home. They wanted to put her in with a nurse. The family insisted. She insisted, no, she'll be fine. I think one of her nephews was a nurse. He wound up leaving her home alone. The 911 call says it all. The 911 operator had to ask the woman that answered the phone 8 times if she was still breathing. She's like, huh, huh, huh. Well, Kanye West is a tribute to his mother. And do you know about the deal where they walk around the black cube, like the Hindi thing where
No,
they
I don't
and then
know
there's people that wear the
anything.
black cube on the head.
Mm-mm.
I'll
No.
show you this short clip. God, and this is completely, this is in the middle of the day on Sunday. God, I love you. I usually pray before I do this kind of stuff. It's what he did for his mother.
Come in and play with the goat. You wanna come in and play with the
You want to come in and play with the goats, what he said.
All you rap niggas sound like me. Can't tell who is who. You got no real identity. Can't tell you from you.
Saturn, Satan.
That was on YouTube?
Yeah, it's still is. No, watch. He'll get all these look at all these people walking around it the same way they do at the Kabbalistic ritual where they walk around the cube.
Weird. No, I've never
Yeah.
seen anything like that.
No, they do it. They do it in that. I'll show you that quickly.
Thank you,
But yeah.
Stephanon. Thank you, Antonio71. Thank you, Big Mamu, for that
Big Mom.
diamond. Big Mamu donated 2 diamonds and 7 ice cream. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
Circling the cube. Yeah, they do. This is one of their. And look, most of these people that do this have no idea what they're doing. Okay, I'm not saying that they do. I'm just saying that they use this energy off this stuff. They're freaking evil. These damn people are witches. Look at it. Same damn thing. A lot more people. Same damn concept. They march in circles around this black cube Saturn.
Bizarre.
And that's the tame stuff. That's the stuff where you can watch them,
Masses of people.
Yeah, but they absorb like the energy off people. That's why I try to tell everybody to take a break from all this shit. Go sit in nature. Go hang out with your kids. Go play in the park with your dogs. Go watch some funny damn cat videos. Whatever it is that brings you laughter and joy. Please, if you don't listen to anything else I tell you, do that. Do not sit here in these streams all day, every day, 14 hours a day, and just listen to the negativity all the time. It's not doing anything for your soul. It's not helping your soul. Remember why you're fighting. Remember why the truth is important. Remember what's worth fighting for. And go spend time doing that for your own sanity. Yes, pick a few streams that you enjoy that cover the news really well, so you can figure out how to get, try to get the truth. And yes, catch up with those folks. I don't care who they are for you guys. I encourage you to whoever it is. I promise you, I'm not the kind of person that's like, it's here. You need to listen to me. No, I get it. Sometimes you're people's cup of tea, and sometimes you're not. Mm-hmm. About what year? I don't know, Sonia. What year they
Big
did
Mom Moose says, watch the hummingbirds. And yesterday we have a trumpet vine now that's blooming, and I did see a hummingbird, and I marvel at creation. I can just get lost in watching that little hummingbird, visiting all those flowers and zooming off. Just the wind blowing leaves. I have to step back from this stuff and rest my brain
What,
and
you have
heart.
a mini CERN in Illinois? Why do I not know about that? Do I know about that?
There's a
I didn't
mini
know about
CERN in Illinois.
That's what a friend indeed just said. Just find something. Oh yeah, exactly. So fine. Exactly. And that's what I mean is if you love spending time out there with your flowers, I just want all of you to think it's so important that yes, you are spreading the truth, that you know the truth, that you are aware. Yes, it's very important so you don't get lied to. Most of you know that the media is lying to you. So you're going to do your own research and find the truth. All of you, I would almost be willing to bet all of you know this. Okay. So please take time to go walk the park, walk a hiking trail, whatever it is, go fishing. I don't care. I don't care. Go sit outside and watch your chickens peck the ground, whatever it is. Okay. I'm from the South, so I'm going to use these analogies. I know some of you may live in the city and, might do like the dude said, get a hummingbird feeder. That's very peaceful. I love my hummingbirds back in the day when I lived out in the country. But yes, I'm telling you, do it for your own, do it for the rest of us. Because they feed off that negativity.
I'm sorry. I combined two words.
It's all good.
Duppy Montana is what I was trying to say. Says, think that's the accelerator at Fermi Lab. It predates CERN.
I have to look into that. I didn't think that's who said that. Where at?
Duppy Montana said I think that's the accelerator at Fermi Lab. It predates CERN. It's in D Live.
Yeah, I'm gonna copy it and then I'm gonna paste it over here. See if I can. I've never heard.
Oh, Keck Rangel says yes, it's true. There is a CERN here in Illinois before the first in Switzerland. Why do you think the frog likes my era? So
I have to look in lab breakthrough Fermi Lab accelerator technology. What the hell? All right, well, real time shit right here, folks. What is this?
Today, there are more than 30,000 particle accelerators in operation around the world.
Holy shit, there's 30,000?
They shrink tumors, make better tires, spot suspicious cargo, clean up dirty drinking water, help design drugs, discover the building blocks of matter, and do much more. A new generation of powerful accelerators developed by national laboratories relies on superconducting niobium cavities as the technology of choice. These devices can propel more particles in a shorter distance than any conventional accelerator technology. At Fermi National Accelerator Laboratory, scientists are collaborating with industry to optimize manufacturing processes for these cavities and build an advanced prototype accelerator. The research helps reduce the cost of these accelerators and paves the way for future applications. To get the maximum performance from these cavities, their interior surfaces should be free from defects and as smooth as possible. Using a custom-built tumbler and experimenting with unique polishing materials, a team at Fermilab has now developed an efficient and environmentally friendly way of creating ultra-smooth cavity surfaces. Tests have revealed that cavities polished with
Thank you, live chat.
Can propel particles with more than 30 million volts per meter. Fermilab is in the process of obtaining a patent for this polishing method.
Right, that was patented.
Future industrialization of these superconducting accelerators could change the way companies do business and create whole new industries. This includes advances in medicine, manufacturing, energy, national security, environment, and discovery science.
They sure didn't get all the damn key points, huh? Medicine, national security. I mean, like, wow.
Stephanon pointed out the tone of her voice. Stephanon pointed out her voice. Do you love how they use a soft voice to tell you this evil crap?
Yes, we're going to be here to end the world soon, and we just wanted to let all of you know that we're getting a grant and a patent.
And then Tuppy Montana was good. So go Tuppy Montana says, pretty sure that Lori Lightfoot was born at a Fermi lab.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Every time I hear that lady's name, I do that shit. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I'm expecting her to pop through the window. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. As these people are sick, they are.
Oh,
and it's like all that stuff that's happening, the stuff that we just talked about right there. And yeah, shout out to y'all for letting me know about that, because I don't mind if I can find it pretty quick sharing something like that, especially if I don't know about it. When Bush Sr. was president, they almost finished one here in Texas. My company sits on top. Well, God help you. They said she's an AI voice. I don't doubt it.
You know, there was something weird about it. I really thought there was like weird about it too.
No doubt. Hey, Sonny, can you talk for just a minute while I run and shut my door?
Yes.
My dog came in. Okay, I'll be right back. Go ahead. If you want to bring up, if you found anything on Twitter, I love those things you do, by the way.
Okay.
This is what I mean by I love what you do when you come in here, because you remind people to laugh. I think that's what's most important. Okay, I'll be right back.
All right. All right. I do have a couple things in my bookmark I grabbed. Well, that's kind of a weird story. How about, I don't know who this Robert Welch is, but supposedly this is from in 1958, mind-blowing speech from Robert Welch in 1958, insiders plan to destroy America.
A part of that plan, of course, gradual surrender of American sovereignty, piece by piece and step by step, to various international organizations, of which the United Nations is the outstanding but far from the only example. Here are the aims for the United States. 1, greatly expanded government spending.
Well, we have that going on. Government spending greatly expanded. They're doing that absolutely right now.
For every conceivable means of getting rid of ever larger sums of American money as wastefully as possible. 2, higher and then much higher taxes. 3, an increasingly unbalanced budget despite the higher taxes. 4, wild inflation of our currency. 5,
Well, so far, all of those up to 5 have been done.
Government controls of prices, wages, and materials, supposedly to combat inflation. 6, greatly increased socialistic controls over every operation of our economy and every activity of our daily lives. This is to be accompanied naturally and automatically by a correspondingly huge increase in the size of our bureaucracy and in both the cost and reach of our domestic government. 7, far more centralization of power in Washington and the
So all of those, I think, have happened.
Practical elimination of our state lines. There is a many-faceted drive at work to have our state lines eventually mean no more within the nation than our county lines do now within the states. 8, the steady advance of federal aid to and control over our educational system, leading to complete federalization.
Well, that's happening, but about the state lines, is that happening? I don't know that the county and state lines have been erased.
Of our public education. 9, a constant hammering into the American consciousness of the horror of modern warfare, the beauties and the absolute necessity of peace. Peace always on communist terms, of course. And 10, the consequent willingness of the American people to allow the steps of appeasement by our government, which amount to a piecemeal surrender of the rest of the free world.
Well, that's pretty interesting if true. I don't know who this guy is. I'll have to look that up. Robert Welch.
What did he say? What's the synopsis of what he says?
Well, the first 5 were financial, let's see, taxes, overinflate the dollar. It all had to do with financial, which do you want me to just play it again?
Oh no, you don't
Okay.
have to. I just thought I would. I didn't
Yeah,
get to hear that whole thing. But
it was all financial, and I think all those things have done, but he did say something about blurring the state lines and county lines. Let's see, Tracy Truthism says, I think he may be referring to borders to be like state borders. Trump put the wall up. Yeah, so he said like they would blur the state and county lines. I don't know that they're doing that yet, but everything else he said they're pretty much doing. We're in debt, and that kind of stuff. It is interesting if that is from 1958.
yeah, for sure. I'm trying to. I'm trying to read this thing. Oh, I love. But I'm trying to think. Brett Hume is not mentioned at Fox News. Arguments welcome. Just over a month ago. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm going to show this. What you just played that. Maybe this will play into it. I'm sorry, Sonia. But like, look, just over a month ago, what a debacle. Brian York, excerpts from President Biden's July 8th speech and news conference on U.S. forces withdrawal from Afghanistan White House briefing. Is the Taliban takeover in Afghanistan now inevitable? The president, no, it's not. Why? The president, because you, the Afghan troops, have 300,000 well-equipped as any army in the world, and an air force against something like 75,000 Taliban. It's not inevitable. So remember, we've been over there for how many ever years training these Afghan troops, apparently, and giving them all this equipment, military supplies, all this other shit for years. Mr. President, thank you very much. Your own intelligence community has assessed that the Afghan government will likely collapse. President, that is not true. Question, is it? Can you please clarify what they have told you about whether that will happen or not? President, that is not true. They did not reach that conclusion. Question, so how is the level of confidence that you have that it will not collapse? President, the Afghan government and leadership has come together. They clearly have the capacity to sustain the government in place. The question is, will they generate the kind of a cohesion to do it? It's not a question of whether they have the capacity. They have the capacity. They have the forces. They have the equipment. The question is, will they do it? And I want to make clear that I will make that woman. And I want to make clear what I made clear in Ghani, that we are not going just walk away and not sustain their ability to maintain that force. We're going to also work to make sure we help them in terms of everything from food necessities and other things in the region. But there's not a conclusion that, in fact, they cannot defeat the Taliban. Mr. President, some Vietnamese veterans see echoes of their experience in this withdrawal in Afghanistan. Do you see any parallel between the withdrawal and what happened in Vietnam with some people feeling? The president, none whatsoever, zero. What you had entire brigades breaking through the gates of our embassy, 6, if I'm not mistaken. The Taliban is not the South, the North Vietnamese army. They're not. They're not remotely comparable in terms of capability. There's going to be no circumstance where you see people being holy shit. There's not going to be no circumstance where you see people being lifted off the roof of an embassy of the United States from Afghanistan. It's not at all comparable. Well, that fucking didn't age well.
No, it didn't.
Because we have a wet noodle with a nuclear football.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just saw that and I was like, what the total living hell is this shit? Again, I'm just everybody out there, I know they're using their thinking brains. How can you have something so defeated that they're scattering to the corners of the earth? They're trying to get in as refugees in other countries because they're scared of being hunted down. And fast forward 7 months into a presidency where we literally now have them taking over the damn president's palace.
And that so many of us know that there's no way that Biden can run the country. He's not doing it. Can't run the country. I mean,
it's ridiculous.
It's obvious.
Well, guess what? We have a gosh dang wet noodle deciding all of our. Again, look what he's doing. Yeah, exactly. To a friend in need. Wake is growing. We needed to leave the Afghan troops. Taliban is the origin that the DS left. It's a DS.
Deep state?
Yeah. Okay. There you go. There. Ding, ding, ding. See, I look at these too many of these anagrams. Like, what does that stand for?
No, I don't always get them. I just popped into
I'm supposed to have it, but they don't trust him to wipe his own ass. I guarantee he probably don't have the football. They can't. Did you see that video where somebody come out and played? Like this guy had said he was saying, "I just wiped my butt." It's like, you know what? If it was any other president, I'd be like, "Oh, what a meme!" The lip syncing guy. But with this one, you're just like, "Well, at least he figured out how to get to the toilet paper."
Oh, that video was crazy where he's talking to the reporter and he says, "My butt was wiped." Oh my gosh. I don't know what else it could have been. I mean, that's what it sounded like he said. Sorry, but it did.
Again, God, it is up to us to spread the truth. It is up to us not forget who we are. We made a massive movement, and it's not gone anywhere. You don't let them discredit anything because they want to take a handful of rogue stories or whatever and mock it and laugh at it or whatever. Look at how much of the shit we said has come true. Look at how many were banned because they brought up the lab a year ago, and now it's just mainstream knowledge. They brought even a physician on CNN a couple weeks back to talk about the mask being ridiculous. So please, they're doing everything. They don't know their ass from the hole in the ground. They switch the narrative up so much it's ridiculous because I think that's another reason why the FDA is not as leery of giving these jabs the go ahead, giving them because they know at that point they're signing off on it that it's safe. Now the media telling you that, even the president telling you that is one thing, but the FDA is assigned the issue of making sure something is actually safe.
Ooh, so cool. President Trump has released some other statements today, but it sounds like he just released this one not too long ago. It's time for Joe Biden to resign in disgrace for what he has allowed to happen to Afghanistan, along with the tremendous surge in COVID, the border catastrophe, the destruction of energy independence, and our crippled economy. It shouldn't be a big deal because he wasn't elected legitimately in the first place. Burn, baby, burn.
Right, exactly. But then again, maybe you under how this goes. Y'all all probably do. Again, see, I don't get on I've talked a lot during this stream about what I research. Okay, the underbelly of the shit, the white underbelly of the nastiness. Mm-hmm. But if he is impeached, if he resigns, then Kamala Harris will be put in that position. Right. Are we really looking at some of the better option there?
She's so unpopular. They regret putting her in there in the first place.
This is the lady that singled out and targeted that man that went undercover at Planned Parenthood and exposed they were selling fetal body parts. She's the one that went after him, singled him out and went after him. Kamala Harris is. He said he did a whole interview about it, saying that she's the last person that cares about your First Amendment rights. She was all about trying to protect what Planned Parenthood was doing and trying to ruin his life. Mm-hmm. So what the hell? Boss dropping bombs, exactly, friend indeed. But what the hell? Trust me, I agree with Trump, but God, what does that leave us with?
Right.
Kamala Harris?
Well,
what do we do?
I still hope for devolution. I gotta hope. I gotta hope there's something. I gotta hope that this isn't just it.
Well,
there's
in the
gotta
meantime,
be more.
Don't forget to make friends and figure out, and talk to one another. And I know a lot of you guys do a really good job of that out in the chat rooms. You all kind of go and see each other in the same chat rooms and say hi to each other. Figure out a way to get in touch with one another. Share each other's emails, Figure out where, if you're in the same damn state, have a meetup. Skeeter did that shit a couple times at his house out in Texas, where he'd meet up, just have a cookout. Just so you don't feel like alone. You feel like you can sit around with people with like minds and have a good time. And even if I were you, and then again, my suggestions and opinion like assholes, we all have one. But if I were to give you mine, I would say like relegate, say, okay, this cookout's going to go on for 4 hours. We're going to have 30 minutes to talk about politics and all that other shit. The other 3.5 hours, we're going to talk about your grandkids. We're going to talk about the vacation you're going to take in 3 months. We're going to talk whatever. We're going to talk about the, cows pooping out in the pack, whatever it is. We're going to have a good time.
Right.
Because I think it's important, again, that we maintain those relationships and remember to laugh and, get together and appreciate each other. So all you out there, there's plenty of you. You're all across the world. Find each other. Have it summer. Have a cookout. You live in a state where they're like, you can't do anything. Find your friend that lives over in Wyoming that's like middle finger. Suck it. Go visit them for a long weekend. Those parents are not from America. Both of her parents are from, what she say? Pamela is not eligible. There was somebody that took her to court, California, saying that she was illegitimate due to her not being an American. Both her parents are not from America.
Yeah. Doug Gibbons? Gibson? He does Patriot Soapbox once in a while as a guest, the constitutional guy. Yeah, they have that lawsuit against her, but I don't know that they've gotten anywhere with it.
And Stephanon said, we're having a great time up here in Lake Erie, boating, fishing, swimming. I think he's telling y'all.
Awesome.
Oh, Sam in Lake Erie. Did you know I just invited everybody to your house, Stephanon? Everybody in the car, go to Stephanon's. He's got room. He's like, but you better tell him to bring a tent. My wife will kill me if I come up in my damn car. I don't know. That's Stephanon. It could be a woman. It could be short for Stephanie. I don't know. I didn't mean to assume your gender is Stephanon.
So, my dog's getting restless. He wants to eat.
Well, we have gone for a couple hours. We've talked about every daggum thing under the sun. Yes. Yeah, you see what happened the minute I kind of brought up that one subject matter.
Right.
And to give you an idea of what I talk about, the stuff that I'm trying to read this book next. I mean, there is so much stuff out there. This is on the agenda for the next. Hold on. Lilith's Cave, the Jewish Tale of Supernatural. It ties into that first video. Ripping off the damn Band-Aid. There is so much. There's a lady that went on Oprah that talked about her and her family were into this shit. Ugh, it is what it is. All right. Well, Sonny, I'm not even going to fire up the butt, but I'm going to say thanks to everybody. If my computer will maintain the modem thing, you see me going live in today or the next couple of days, it's probably going to be to share that. Again, I'll give you fair warning in the beginning, and I am telling you, this is not for kids. This is not for the faint of heart. This is anybody with abuse in their history does not need to watch this, blah, blah, blah. I have given warnings for 2 damn weeks. And listen, I'm apprehensive about it. That's the truth.
Okay.
I'm apprehensive about sharing it because it gets attention. You know what I mean? It gets attention. But all right, Sonny, you want to say bye? And thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Bye.
This night. Oh, what a night. You didn't need no stinking men.
So cool.
Damn men up in here with us. What are we talking about? We didn't need no stinking men.
Because you got the ladies of liberty.
Oh, shit. No. What the hell? All right. We got the ladies of liberty. No, I'm just kidding. All right. I got to go. We will talk to you guys later.
All right.
My dog's snoring. So you go play with your dog. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Hopefully you don't got some shitty cloudy weather like we do here in the state of Tennessee. Please remember to hug the people around you that you love. Don't forget to hang out, spend some quality time with them. Go remember what the sun looks like. Get a hammock. Throw a fire tonight. Roast some marshmallows. Give yourself a break from all the negativity. Remember love, folks. There's love and hope. All right.